everybody, it's Abigail Ockwell here and welcome back to another video. Now this is my WIP and Chat. Now if you're new here, WIP stands for Work in Progress. Now as you can see, I've nearly finished this project. For those of you who are new, this is The Cat by Meow. And all I'm doing at the moment is I'm just filling in the last eye. I did the other eye on over the weekend, I think it was. Apologies if you can hear any noise in the background. It's probably Misty, who's one of my cats who is just running around like she normally does. She's been in a very skittish mood today, so yeah. But anyway, I hope you guys are all having a really wonderful week. I'm sorry I've been away on the WIP and Chats for a while. It's just, again, I still have this overtiredness. The doctors still haven't seen me or done anything, and I'm just like, I have no energy. And also, next week, we have the Easter holidays coming up. Yay! Fun. So yeah, 2 weeks of dealing with kids and everything. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Not, but yeah, we've had the usual. We have been dealing with ID disputes because we've not only got Batman out at the moment, we've now got the new Marvel film, which is Morbius, out. ID with that has been interesting. So not last weekend, but the weekend before, one of my colleagues actually had they had a rather threatening one, which I must admit, with this guy, I so nearly dived over the table. Because I was on the ice cream stand and she was on the Dropbox area where we check people's tickets before they go into the screens. And obviously the law in the UK is that, if you don't have ID, or sorry, if your child doesn't have ID, if you come in with a child or anything, you know, we will ID the child as procedure, but yeah, I think this guy had come in, I think it was his grandson. Now this boy, he had some sort of learning difficulties. There was some sort of learning difficulty there, and he brought him to see Batman. He was asked for ID. Now, and he was just saying, oh, he hasn't got any ID, this is ridiculous, la 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 la. And I was on the, like I say, I was on the ice cream stand, and this guy, so, I'm going to zoom out a bit. So, my pen is my colleague, and my hand's going to be the man, and he was literally right in her face. And I'm going to just zoom back in. I nearly dived over that counter to stand in the way, because I was like, oh no, 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 that is intimidating and threatening behaviour right there. Because obviously, you know, it's like this guy was just encroaching on my colleague's, you know, personal space, like trying to intimidate her into letting him in with this child. And then, thankfully, Josh, he was training somebody on the popper. So, if you didn't know, well, you probably have worked it out already. If you didn't know, I work at a cinema in the UK for a very it's a very well-known cinema company chain that I work for. And basically, Josh was teaching somebody, training somebody on the popper, and they were basically coming past as this was all kicking off. because they were getting the chemical that we used to clean the popper. Excuse me, stay hydrated, folks. And yeah, so sorry, I've got a lid by my foot. There we go. My under desk area is, honestly, it's a mess. I'm not going to show you what it looks like, because honestly, I'd have somebody like, oh my gosh, how can you be so untidy? The joys of being dyspraxic. But no, like I was saying, I digress. He was training somebody how to pop. So we have a popper at the cinema that I work in, and we pop our own popcorn on site. So we pop both sweet and salt popcorn on site, and then if somebody say wants a mixture of sweet and salt, we have, so when you go to the counter, there are 3 bins that are in front of the customers. One will have sweet, one will have salt, and then the middle one will have mix, so that will be a mixture of sweet and salt, and we do that by hand, as we can't mix excuse me, as we cannot mix sugar and salt in the popper together. Just, we're not allowed to do that. It's against company policy. But yeah, no, they were getting the chemical to clean the popper. Now, this chemical is the reason why I don't really pop. So I am trying to pop. I can pop, but I'm just not allowed to clean it because we use a chemical at work. Our popper chemical is the most dangerous building. Is the most dangerous chemical that we have in the building, and that is because its compound eats carbon. Obviously, we're made up from carbon, and it can, it can do a lot of damage if it gets on your skin, or if you inhale it. So, I think probably about 2 years after I started, my childhood asthma came back. And I did an x-ray of my lungs, and it was all scarred and nasty. And they deducted that my asthma was chemically induced. And the only thing that I could think that would have possibly caused all that scarring was the chemical that we used to clean the popper. And, the doctors were saying we should be having masks and everything, but somehow the company has deemed that we don't need masks or respirators when we are using this chemical. But no, as I was saying, they were... Josh and the person that he was training were going past it at the time while this was all going off. And so he saw this man get into our colleague's face and was like, okay, she needs help. I need to try and defuse this. So, yeah, he helped back her up, and, this old guy was still saying, oh, this is ridiculous, la 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 la. And all I could think was, oh my gosh, because it was just like, we've said it 1,000 times, and we have signs everywhere now saying, when we've got an age-restricted film coming out, is this is an age-restricted film, and you may be asked for ID. But yeah, they've also made it a bit more clearer on the website now, thank God, because the amount of people that just would not read the small print or the terms and conditions were ridiculous. So now it says that when you book the tickets and when you pay for them, it's not at the bottom of the screen, but when you click on the film that you're wanting to view, well, the one that you want to book tickets for, it does say that you could be asked for ID. And to make sure that, you have ID with you. But no, the amount of people that just don't have ID or can't be bothered to bring it is ridiculous. But however, the cinema that I work in, we are beginning to get a reputation for being thorough with ID. So it's not... So over the 5 years that I've worked for this company, you know, we have had major issues with ID, but now it's like... It's just like, you know, word does seem to be getting around that we will check for ID. So just make sure that you have your ID with you if you're coming to visit this cinema. I think the guy was like, you know, because my team leader, he went and gave them a refund because I was dealing with another customer, because I do have the power to do refunds, etc., etc. So, yeah, I was dealing with some other customers, so my team leader, Ollie, was dealing with the customer, and he was, you know, being really nice, saying, look, I really hope that you're going to come back and everything, and I think he's going to come back, but he was, like, saying, yeah, well, we'll just go to Crawley later and view it there. Now, when people say that Crawley never check, I happen to think that that is a lie, because, you see, the GM that's at our site now, he used to be the GM of the site in Crawley. GM is basically General Manager, to anyone who's not sure. So, it's kind of like when they're saying, oh yeah, it's never been like that at Crawley, I'm like, I somehow don't believe you. But yeah, no, Ben is lovely. But no, my admin shifts have been going really well. We have got this new system though, for doing compliance work. So I still have to fill in the grid and everything. So usually what I'll do at the end of the week is there's a spreadsheet for me to do on the computer. Yeah, I'll fill that in every week. They still want me to do that, but they also want me to upload all our paperwork. I have to scan it into the computer, and then I have to put it onto a shared drive so that when we get our auditors out, they will see that we've got it all in the shared drive, etc., etc. So that they can be like, yep, here's that paperwork. And at the moment it's only a trial, so what I'm doing is, you know, I am putting them in our archive room until we are sure that this is definitely going electronic. Because obviously, you know, some sites might be like, yay, let's just get rid of all the paperwork. And after we've scanned it in, and obviously if they decide that they're not going to keep it, and they're going to get rid of it, then, yeah. Then basically, yeah, I'll be sort of sitting there smugly like, haha, this is why I was putting it up in the archive room, la 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 la. And then there'll be other people like, oh, but we didn't keep our paperwork. And then when they get an audit, they'll be like, well, why is all this paperwork missing? I'll be like, yeah, because we uploaded it to the cloud and we were told that we wouldn't need it anymore, so therefore we threw it away, and da da da. But no, it is a little bit annoying. It took me... Oh my god, I can't remember how long it took me. It took me last Monday, I think it took me about 2 hours to upload it all. Oh my gosh, it was a bit of a headache because I kept messing up. But you know, you're gonna do that. I have a really odd feeling I may have forgotten to put some paperwork on last Friday, but I'll have to check that, and if not, then I'll have to just put it, I'll have to scan it and be like, this is this day for this area. So yeah, it's fun. But no, I'm trying to think if we haven't really had that many issues with Morbius, I don't think. Not that I'm aware of anyway. Oh, hello? Oh, it's a midnight. My cat Midnight has just come in. Hello? Yes? Do you want to come say hello to the peoples? Middy, come on. Come on. Right, I'm just gonna pull you away for a moment because Midnight has come to say hello. Oh, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, you can probably see part of the state of my room. I do apologise. But anyway. You giving a show? You're just stealing the spotlight. There we go. Hello. Oh! You're popping. Oh! Oh, no, not on the glue, please. Yeah. Oh, bye, Mitty. Well, she's still on the desk, so. Well, that was fun. Well, you can't really see a paw print, which is good. Where has my pen dropped to? Mitty, have you seen my pen? Where's my pen? Hold, please. Right. There we go. Sorry about that. When your cat decides that she wants to come and say hi and causes all sorts of fun chaos. We love it. And she's currently just sat on the bed thinking, nope, didn't do anything. No, I wasn't expecting her to jump up on the desk. I appreciate it, but anyway, yeah, so that was admin for this week. Also, we have been having an issue with rats at the cinema. So, basically, next to our cinema, we have a power substation. And, you know, we had found, you know, there had been a lot of rodent activity going on for the last few weeks. However, a few, so we had a staff meeting last Tuesday, I want to say. Last Tuesday we had a staff meeting. And they showed us, like, you know, that there really had been issues with, you know, the rodents. And I'll admit, the bin area wasn't the most clean. So we were just like, okay. And I knew that on the Thursday, I would be having to call out our pest control to deal, you know, with the rats. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this story about the rodent that sat on the rat that sat on my boot like a few months ago. But so basically, this, like I said, this was a few months ago, and I hadn't seen really any rodent activity since. But I went to go put bins out, and you know, I popped my rubbish into the bin, you know, popped the compactor on, and you know, I was just pressing down, holding the buttons, and then I suddenly feel this pressure on my boot, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this? What am I feeling on my boot? This is really weird. So I looked down thinking, oh, probably something has just, you know, fallen and landed on my boot. As you do, I look down and there is this young rat sitting on my boot, looking up at me, looking very cute. And I flicked my foot and was like, oh my... Like thinking, oh my lord. Just the fact that the last thing I expected to see was a rat on my boot. So yeah, he kind of sort of, when I startled him, he startled me, he ran off in the direction of the substation. And yeah, I didn't really hear anything about the rat problem since. I knew they were getting the exterminators out the next day, so I thought, hey, that's not a big issue. Fast forward to a few months later when we were having our staff meeting, and they showed us, you know, the evidence of how bad the activity got, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that looks disgusting. Like, there was rat droppings anywhere. The day before, was it the day before? No, it was the pretty sure it was it was Wednesday. We'd had one of our members, our team members, you know, deep cleaning the rubbish, the bin area, and they tipped out one of the bins, like, and we have these big industrial bins. Bear in mind, they tipped one out because they'd seen a whole load in there, and a whole load just scurried out and went in the direction of the substation. So yeah, basically, I'd already clocked on Tuesday that I would be calling out, you know, pest control for the rats, because, you know, rats, they bring disease, like the plague, Lyme disease, etc. I think rats are cute, don't get me wrong, I think they're cute, but they don't belong in our bin area. They don't belong in the general area, in, like, the complex area. So I think I've mentioned this in the past. The cinema that I work on, it is... That's just the vivarium turning off. We share it with 13 other sites. So, yeah, you really don't want a rat problem in a place that not only has food outlets, I think probably 50% of the complex that I work at, you know, does some sort of food. So yeah, obviously, you know, and they were saying in the staff meeting, you know, rats, they'll chew through walls to get to food. Now bear in mind, on the other side of the wall, of the fire exit that you have to go out to get to the bin area, that's our corn storage. So, you know, if, say, eventually there were a lot of them and they were so inclined to try and get into the cinema, then they were saying, yep, they can chew through the walls, and other things, and it was just like, oh my gosh, okay. So yeah, I know they did find one dead one in the bin that they tipped up. So yeah, Thursday comes around, I call out pest control and go, you know, we've got issues with rats, please, you know, come and check it out. Now, the guy, he comes out, and he, you know, he checks the traps and everything. And we have a little walk around and he finds, I'll show you the pictures. So this is the underneath of the substation. And you can see here that they have been burrowing. So he put on his report that, you know, this is an inherited problem. And I reckon that the problem started like a couple of months back. It's all under control now, but a few months back, we were having issues with our bin men not collecting our rubbish correctly. So we were having bin bags piled up and yeah, just sitting there because the bin men wouldn't take them because bins were full, and they were like, yeah, we're not taking the rubbish that isn't in the bins. So obviously that would have encouraged the rats to come out, and you know, they probably had a little bit of a nibble, and they're thinking, ha, this is a new place that we can you know, get food. So as a result, the cinema all-you-can-eat buffet was opened, and under our noses, you know, this colony started to obviously grow in number. And then eventually it was, you know, it was like, oh, crumbs, okay. We did start to notice more and more rats eventually, and obviously, like I say, you know, the rats have been climbing into the bins and everything, and yeah, it's just not very hygienic. And so therefore the panic was that, hey, what if they eventually decide they're tired of the bin area and they want to come into the cinema? So yeah, therefore, yeah, Thursday, I call out pest control. Now, for a while, we had a long-eared owl come and visit and be sort of taking care of the rats. And, you know, I think that's kind of why we didn't really see a whole lot of them, because we did have the long-eared owl, you know, having rats. I'll pop a picture of a European long-eared owl in here. So obviously he was taking care of the rats for a while, or she. But no, we think one of our staff scared it off by accidentally shining a light in its eye, and so therefore we got rid of our natural pest control, and yeah. But I was assured when the guy came and checked the traps, I was assured that, you know, when this owl was around, because we do have traps on the outside in our bin area anyway, but he was like, yeah, you know, the rats, they only eat a little bit of poison and it's not enough to do any harm to the owl, which I was thinking, thank God, because, you know, that was one of my questions when I was showing him around, you know, when he was checking the traps, because he was checking in the storerooms and everything. But yeah, like I say, we went around to this substation where they've been burrowing, and he was like, yeah, this is where you've inherited your problem from. Now, the guy that we have that is contracted to get to you know, deal with our pest, he couldn't deal with the stuff at the substation. Now, he used to work for the council, and if he was still working for the council, he would have been able to deal with it. But because he wasn't, he was like, yeah, you're going to have to, you know, report it to security, and then they're going to have to contact the owners, and then they're going to have to sort out the pest control to come out. Which I was like, right, okay, that's fine. So, yeah, later that day, after the guy had gone, after we checked the traps and had shown him around and everything, like he said, he put in his report that we had inherited the problem from the power station. And, you know, he was saying, you know, this is how to try and prevent them from, you know, going into the bins, because, you know, we want them to leave your rubbish alone, because then, you know, because if they're getting into the bins, then that's obviously guiding them away from the poison that they've put down. But no, so I went to the security office the next day, not the next day, later that day, and I showed the guy the pictures, and let's just say the security guard didn't seem surprised that we were having issues with rats, and I was kind of a bit like, okay. But yeah, he was like, oh yeah, we'll get in touch with the owners of the site, and then they'll get rid of it. However, so I went away and was like, that's that. However, last night, Josh was working, and now we bale our cardboard, so we put them in. We have a machine that basically compacts it and puts it into, and we tie it into a big block. Now, one of these bales had come loose, so Josh was tasked with the job of, you know, getting this bale back and rebaling it. While he was out in the bin area, he felt something furry. Oh yeah, there was a rat in the bale. Thankfully, he noticed it outside when it had like scurried across his hand. But it was like the first thing I thought when he sent me that text was, oh my god, they've got into the building. And my mind was freaking out, thinking, oh my gosh, they're in the building. They've got into the building. Oh my gosh. And so, you know, I was thinking, okay, right. And so then when he said no, it was outside in the bin area, I thought, oh, thank gosh for that. And again, of course, after, you know, it ran away, it ran into the direction of the substation. So, yeah, it's basically been nearly a week since I've passed that information on. And I'm thinking that our on-site security have either not passed the message on, or the person in charge of our site doesn't want to, you know, fork out money to deal with the rats. So, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, right, they're still coming into the bin area, which is making me think that, you know, because I'm sure that if, you know, someone had called the owners, if the owners have any sense, which they probably do, you know, I'm sure that they would, you know, be straight on like, oh my gosh, there's rats under this substation, they've had them there before, so I'd be thinking, right, we need to get the council out to deal with them. Now, I'm starting to think that security, because our security are absolutely terrible. We don't even have 24-hour security on site. They finish at 6, which is when the cameras in the car park turn off. Yeah, great deterrent, people. So from 6 in the morning till 6 at night, yeah, basically, we have no security, basically. Now, like I say, I'm thinking that security have just been lazy and they haven't called, you know, the council to say, hey, look, there's a... So they haven't called so that the owners can let the council know that there is an issue with rats at the substation. So I'm starting to think that tomorrow there is a great possibility that I'm going to have to call the council and be like, hey, look, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we've got an issue with rats. Can we have somebody out to deal with them? Because the reason that our pest control guy didn't deal with the substation is because he's not contracted to deal with the substation. That's the owner's prerogative to deal with, not his. And like I say, if he said to me, you know, if he was still on the council, if he was still working for the council, he would have been able to deal with it there and then. He would have been able to deal with rats. But because he isn't working for them anymore, he can't. So yeah, basically, I'm possibly going to have to make another phone call tomorrow, but to the council to say, hey, look, this is an issue. Can you please deal with it? Because, you know, the last thing that I want are rats coming into the cinema. Yeah, you know, and when the pest control guy was in, he was like saying all the horrible things he'd seen. He was like saying, yeah, when food's scarce, you know, they'll turn on each other. They will eat each other. And he was saying, yeah, I've seen rats, entrails hanging out. And I was like, ew. Now, when the pest control guy came, I had just come back. I think 20 minutes before he arrived, I'd come back from lunch break, so my lunch was kind of still digesting, and while he was going into all this graphic detail, there's me just like, bleh. Please stop. You know, I found it fascinating, but I was kind of like, I've just had my dinner. I just had food. I don't want it coming up and saying hello to everyone. But yeah, so that was that. Ugh. But no, sorry. The weekend was kind of this weekend, sorry, was kind of a bit of chaos. I will let you know that. So we had 2 managers down, because they were on time off. So Ben was off, and James, and because we had Sonic out and Morbius, it was unbelievably busy. So Sonic 2 is doing better than Morbius. I've heard Morbius is pretty terrible, which is making me think, I think I might wait until it comes on streaming services before I watch it. Because if it's as bad as everyone's saying it is, I'm just going to be like, And also, you know, I do get free tickets, so it's not like I'd be losing anything if I did go and see it at work, but, you know, I don't mind. But yeah, no, so, that looks like a really... Yeah, that's a bit of plastic, haha. Sorry. So a few weeks ago, we went and saw a wedding photographer, you know, who's been to our venue, who's done stuff at the venue before, that we're getting married in. So me and Josh, our reception is at Amberley Castle. And we really liked his stuff. and our original plan was we are going to have him, you know, do all the, you know, professional shots, focus on me and Josh, yada yada yada. And then we were going to have our friend, she owns her own photography company, and she's someone we work with. So we were like, well, if we get her and her friend to do sort of, you know, all the background shots of all the guests and everything, then, you know, that's great. However, you know, I let him know last week, yeah, we'd like to go with him, and everything. And he was like, oh, that's great. I'm so happy that you liked my work. However, I don't work with any other photographers I've tried in the past, and I've got a clause in my contract saying that I won't work with anyone else. And he's, you know, he didn't try and pressure us into anything when we did the initial meeting or anything. He was just like, you know, this is what I do. And he showed us the type of stuff he did and talked to us through the type of stuff that he did. And we were like, okay. So last night we were in the car and we were talking about it. And we've decided, actually, I do need to email the photographer that we met with and say that we're not going to go with him and that we're going to go with our friend. Just because, you know, there are two of them. This guy is, you know, he works by himself. So he doesn't have an assistant or anything. So, yeah, it would be a bit... So, yeah, But, yeah, when we go back to the castle at some point, we will be... you know, taking our friend with us so I can point out places that he suggested for photos and everything. But no, I think it's going to be a really good day. We've actually just got back from my in-laws because we hadn't seen them for a while, and yeah, we really needed to visit them. But yeah, trying to think if there's anything else. Gosh, I think really that's everything. Apart from I've just been in a really big cross-stitching kick lately, which is why it's kind of, it has taken me a while to do this kit. But yeah, this will be finished in like probably like either later tonight or tomorrow. But anyway, I think that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please hit that like button. Leave a comment if you'd like, and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos. I usually do weekly WIP and Chat. I've just been off the ball for a few weeks, but I am trying to put out, even if it's not WIP and Chat, I'm trying to put out at least one video a week so that you have something. You know, occasionally I'll put out 2 videos a week. I think this one's going to be one that I do 2 video a week. I'll probably filming next week's going to be fun just because of holidays, but anyway, right, sorry about that. I thought I was done and then I remembered actually there was something else I was going to talk about. This one's probably only going to be short, and also I feel like I also kind of rushed the goodbye, especially when, you know, I just sort of clicked off to finish recording and then I was like, actually, you know what, there was something else I was going to talk about. And of course, why do these things always come to you when you're on the loo and you're like, ah, that was something I could have talked about. So yeah, I thought I still got everything set up and everything, so I might as well, you know, just go into what I was, you know, into, you know, the final thing I was going to talk about. I mean it, this is the final thing. So, you know, I don't really talk about me playing video games a lot. Most of the time, you'll find me playing Pokemon games, because I love Pokemon. However, yesterday, which was the 5th of April, the new Star Wars, the new Lego Star Wars game came out. So it's the Skywalker Saga, and it's got all 9. It's got all 9 films in one place. So I finished Phantom Menace yesterday. I'm going in chronological order because, you know, why not? So yeah, I finished Phantom Menace in a day, and then straight after I started the second one, Attack of the Clones, and I finished that today just before we were going to my in-laws. Now, you know, I've done the first 2, and at the moment I'm thinking, why did I spend nearly 70 quid on this game? Because I'm thinking this is pretty terrible right now. You know, there isn't really that much, you know, like gameplay at the moment that's like, you know, you do the studs and stuff. So probably my absolute favourite Lego game is the Harry Potter one. You know, I love that game. Love it, love it, love it. And yeah, I'm just like, you know, and because that's, you know, my favourite, it's obviously, I also love the Lego Dimensions game. I was kind of thinking, you know, that has obviously for me set the bar pretty high. So I'm like, okay, I don't get why I just spent this amount of money on a game that's, you know, it's okay, but it's not the best at the moment. And I'm like, ugh. You know, really isn't grabbing me. And so, like I said earlier, we went to my in-laws, and I was talking to Josh's brother, Ethan. And, you know, he's obviously playing it, or he has played the Lego games in the past, and he was going, wait until you get, you know, wait until you get to episode 4. That's when it gets good. And so I was like, okay. So at the moment, you know, it isn't the best in the world, but, you know, no, it isn't the best Lego game, but I will be holding Ethan to his word, you know. One Lego game I really hated was the Incredibles one. You know, I did not like that one at all. Really didn't like that one. I just found it very confusing. You know, I played the Jurassic World ones. I love those ones. Those are great. But, you know, so far, I haven't played any of the Lego Star Wars games, so this is kind of like a first time for me. But no, it seems okay, but, you know, I'm going to keep an open mind. I'm going to take Ethan's advice and, you know, wait until it gets to the 4th one. If it doesn't improve, I'm going to, and, you know, I complete the whole game, like, sort of, after a week of it coming out, I am going to be thinking, well, why did I just spend that amount of money? Yes, it came with a cool case, because I got the Han Solo in carbonate one. So, yeah, it came in this one. I got the deluxe edition. So, yeah, it came in this cardboard, in this cardboard thing. And then, where is my actual... Where is the... Aha! There's the steelbook. And then it came in a steelbook, which is Han Solo frozen in carbonite. And it also came with Luke Skywalker drinking blue milk, which I thought was pretty cute. So, you know, those are great, but currently at the moment the gameplay isn't worth, you know, the nearly £70 that I spent on the game. And bear in mind, I had this pre-ordered when they first announced it. So I was like, yeah, come on. And then obviously I kept pushing it back. So this has obviously been highly anticipated for me. But at the moment I'm a bit like, meh. This isn't the best. So yeah, that's everything from me. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. Consider subscribing, and if you'd like to, please leave a comment. That's always greatly appreciated. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.